Alright, hey there everybody. So today we're going to take a quick look at Audacity. A really cool free sound editing program. So here we've got Audacity. Up along the top here we have our basic play, or our basic play kind of things. Play, pause, stop, go back, go forward, record. So I could actually just hit record and kind of, well, hey, I'm recording myself, as you can see, so I can make whatever recordings I want. And let's stop that. And then I could play that back. Hit record and kind of, well, hey, I'm recording myself, as you can see. Yeah, something like that. Okay, yeah, that was moderately annoying. That's cool though. So, okay, so there, that's our record button. Nice button to have. I can adjust my mic volume as well as my speaker volume. Right down here, this shows my waveform. This will be my left, and this will be my right speaker. So, panning here is not really doing anything, but that's cool. What else do we have here? We've got our playhead that I can kind of, well, hey, I'm recording. Didn't want to do that. So I can like slide. I got my quick play. Hit record. So I can just kind of, select certain areas. Myself, as you can. Space will pause. So, we can go right there. Myself. Pause, so I've got my playhead set right there. Let's see, I can zoom in. Oops, I've got to select it. There we go. So I go to the select, to the zoom, and then I can zoom in and get a better feel for what my waveform looks like, which isn't overly exciting. I can zoom back out if I would like to by changing this to zoom out. Boink, boink, boink. Until I get back out to where I was, and that's kind of where I was to begin with. Okay. This is my selection here. So I can come down here and I can select a region, and then if I were to play that, kind of, well, hey, I've just got that region right there. I could cut that out with Control X. Now that's gone. Let's undo that with Control Z. I'll keep it there for right now. Let's see, what else do we care about? Well, that's pretty much what we care about at the moment. So the cut right here is, I did Control X, but right here is the cut icon, and right there is paste. And also we've got copy. So Control X, Control C, Control V, or Command X, Command C, and Command V. Okay, so let's go ahead and tinker around with this. So I've got our footsteps, so I'm going to throw in some footsteps here. And I will say okay to that. So here's my footsteps. So let's go ahead and play these. Alright, so I've got 4 distinct footsteps. Now within our game, the way that I'm going to want to do this ultimately is each one of these individual ones will play when Sancho steps down. I don't want to play this whole thing at one go. So I'm going to go ahead and let's say I'm going to select that region right there. See, I'm on my selection. I just put my mouse right there and just kind of moved it over there. Okay, so let's go ahead and alright, so that's the area that I've got selected at the moment. Let's zoom in here some maybe. Okay, now I can adjust this by bringing my mouse cursor over here to the edges, and like so, this is that side. I can hold down left mouse button, I can move it maybe over that way. Okay, not bad. Maybe I can move it a little bit more. Whatever I want. Or I can move this side, make it a little bit more pause. Now, the arrow keys allow me to move that arrowhead there, but notice that once I did that, I kind of lost my selection. So I'm going to come right over to here, right about there, hold down the Shift key, and I'm going to drag out my new selection here. Instead of using the mouse, use my arrow keys. Now, if I keep my Shift key down, notice wherever my mouse is, as soon as I hit the Shift key, it becomes that little pointy hand, indicating that I can adjust the sides here. So with my Shift key down, if I do the left arrow, it goes bigger that way, right arrow goes bigger that way. So as far as making this smaller, I can't do that with my arrow keys. In order to make it smaller, I'm going to have to actually use my mouse. So kind of, let's do something like that. Alright, so let's say we want just that chunk, right? And we'll go ahead, File, and we will export out. So we'll do an export selected audio. That looks nice. Just export what we've got selected there. And I'm going to put it on my desktop for right now. and I'm going to call this grass 01 and save that. And we can fill those in. I'm not going to, and hit OK. Alright, so let's get rid of that, and let's just bring in our grass 01, which is right up here. Let's go to my desktop and grass 01. And then we'll select OK. Alright, so there is our grass. Right, that's that one chunk that we had. So let's go ahead. I'm going to do a Control A and select everything and just take a quick look at some things that we've got up here. So if I go into my effects, I can do some things. So like I can make it louder, so amplify. And this is one thing with game audio. We really want all of our game audio to be at the same volume level naturally, and then inside the game we can adjust whether this one is louder or that one is softer, but we need all of them to be at the same levels, so that way when they're playing, one isn't overpowering another when they're at default levels unless we're specifying that. So I can go ahead, it looks like it wants to amplify. This is what it's recommending, 1.586 decibels. Now I can override that and say I want to allow clipping. Notice if I didn't allow clipping, it was like, no, you can't do that. And clipping is simply when we're getting volume that, or when we're getting any frequency that's going outside of our range, and it just clips it right there and says, well, you can't go there. So generally we don't want to allow clipping. Clipping is not a good thing. So if I go there, so I'll go ahead and amplify that, and you see it amplified it just a little bit. Now it can only go so far because of this chunk right here, you know, those chunks right there that are nearing the limits of my frequency range, and that is what is, so that was a little louder, and so that is what is governing how close I can get before I hit my clipping. If I were to remove that chunk, like just play around with this a little bit here. Let's see, let's put this right here, hold down shift. Let's just get that chunk. I'll delete that out with the use backspace key. Let's remove this chunk over here as well. Backspace. And I'm not trying to be too precise here, just, you know, quick thing here. Let's get our, oops, no, stop it. Get over here. There we go. Okay, so now we've got that chunk removed, right? So now we can come back into here and we can go ahead, go with our effect, and we can amplify, and you see we can go up some more now, whereas before we were as loud as we could go. Some other cool effects, I mean, there's just tons of effects you can play around within here. So we could like change our pitch on this, and let's go, I'm just gonna get goofy with it. We'll change it like that. So our grass step suddenly became, I'm not even sure what, surely something. I don't think it necessarily fits in Sancho Panza, but maybe in another game. So you see how we just have this one audio, and all of a sudden we have, just by changing its pitch, we have something else that we could use. Could change its speed, its tempo. Let's see. Oh, what else? Let's throw a phaser at it. See what that did. Close, we'll play that. That wasn't so interesting. I'd have to go really get into those settings there. We can throw some reverb at it. Reverb is really nice. I'm just going to do these default settings, and let's see what we got. Here, there's just a soft echo to it back there, as it's developed a little bit of reverb going on there. Okay, so just a quick run through on this system on Audacity. Ton of fun to play around with. There's just all kinds of stuff. Let's see. Let's crank you up. What happened? Nothing interesting. Okay, so lots of fun, cool stuff to play around with in there. And we're going to be adding to this as we tweak the narration audio, and also as we do some other stuff going on through chapter 9 with our with our audio as we add it to our Sancho Panza project. But anyway, this was just a quick overview of our user interface and how we can get around in it and the things we can do with it. So any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer them. Okay, bye bye.